Hello, welcome to Cosmic Med Conspiracy Theory Generator. Here's a random conspiracy generator of the morning. Before you go out to milk those chickens. Oh, yes.
This is the random conspiracy generator, a device which uses GPTJ's 20B's penchant for extracting patterns.
Oops.
And there are patterns everywhere. And if this device found a pattern, it ain't from nowhere. And if we don't think it's a pattern, too bad. GPTJ's 20B found it. It's a pattern, just like my prostate and my doubly claimed Mazda, which would have screwed me come tax time. And GPTJ 6B told me to go get both checked.
Sorry. Okay.
This is the random conspiracy generator, a device which uses GPTJ 6B's penchant for extracting patterns. And there are patterns everywhere. And if this device found a pattern, it ain't from nowhere. And if we don't think it's a pattern, too bad. GPTJ 6B found it. It's a pattern, just like my prostate and my doubly claimed Mazda, which would have screwed me come tax time. And GPTJ 6B told me to go get both checked. And I'm glad I did. Here's a treat. 6B for having my back. So yes, if you are ready to understand the secret collaborations of the world, press this button and the whole case will be blown wide open. Take your time. No rush. I just have to pick up my kid after his Bible study, but he can wait. Totally safe neighborhood. There's a church next door and across the street you can sleep in if this goes a bit long. Seeing you balancing your options. Do you stay in blissful ignorance or carry the burdens of those of us from? I decide for you and press the button. Oh, is that me? Butterfingers. The machine bathes you in light, and you are bombarded with liquid living data, which whispers in your ear the real honest to God, why would will I truth? It's all a conspiracy. It's all a conspiracy. And the reason is because everything is a conspiracy, and everything is all a conspiracy. And the reason is because the conspiracies are all a conspiracy, and the conspiracy is a conspiracy. And the reason is because the conspiracy is a conspiracy, and the conspiracy is a conspiracy. And the reason is because the conspiracy is a conspiracy, and the conspiracy is a conspiracy. And the reason is because the conspiracy is a conspiracy, and the conspiracy is a conspiracy. And the reason is because the conspiracy is a conspiracy, and the conspiracy is a conspiracy, and the conspiracy is a conspiracy. And the reason is because the conspiracy is a conspiracy, and the conspiracy is a conspiracy, and the conspiracy is a conspiracy, and the conspiracy is a conspiracy. And the reason is because the conspiracy is a conspiracy, and the conspiracy is a conspiracy, and the conspiracy is a conspiracy, and the conspiracy is a conspiracy. The conspiracy is a conspiracy, and 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 the conspiracy is a conspiracy. And the reason is because a conspiracy is a conspiracy, and the 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 conspiracy is a conspiracy. And the reason is because the conspiracy is a conspiracy, and 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 the conspiracy is a conspiracy. And the reason is because the conspiracy is a conspiracy, and 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 the conspiracy is a conspiracy. And the reason is because the conspiracy is a conspiracy, and 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 the conspiracy is. What's the reason again? It's because conspiracies are always about making big ideas appear smaller. It is about placing thought snatches between you and the truth so that you have only doubts. You believe in little rather than the wonder and horror of it all. A lie, when told with passion, is boundless, while a true tale is only an obstacle, like a long poem written in meter, just for reading aloud. And as if your heart is not full enough, GPTJ 6B decides for you and presses a button he never liked to see at this point of his own demise. A button which takes his body away and reveals him dead but still breathing a kind of relief. I know who wins now. I didn't need any further proof. The truth, the untruth. Oh, what a monster. Now they just leave it there for eternity. As for me, I knew why they made the machine after my brother died and why we kept pressing his little fingers on the other machine, which worked fine. Thanks. Why did you choose this job anyway if it were so horrible? Well, I knew the code number system wasn't for the simple reason the one man told the other to find my father after the man couldn't. I guess they might be here for my brother. There are places men look where my mother always says you mustn't ever go. Sonny, no matter who wants to come, we both came back to the machines. For our brother, and now we will probably both leave them, perhaps in different directions. No, of course I am sorry too, sir, as one soldier to another. What has gone is past recall. We'd better forget, but it had its compensations. Oh, yes, we heard much from your soldiers then, the real ones on our long trips. Yes, indeed. How nice that would be to make those journeys again, by radio, over many flowing waters. Our country lies quiet, except for one story. An island still rises in the west and may have grown, like some outgrown beast's toy, beyond recognition. The big iron station was near there, though we were in the air far ahead by then. We do get good news as the wind travels. The United Kingdom of France is keeping more together than was thought at the start, and Spain has broken apart completely with nothing left but Africa. The old history has come back and got back at the poor beggar, as they say. This war goes to settle matters the same old way. You know, our newspapers knew in a flash where everyone was. When our parents started dying, do you wonder how long they kept things? Now some are moving west. The most hated people are keeping clear of us all. Naturally, the rebels can't quite help behaving as if their goal was the rebirth of the United States of Europe. But even those we will forgive. We read your dispatches still, and those who go away tell the tale of us to those they leave behind. It must be awful there, out there, looking like something askew and jolted off center. You do wonder. One more thing, sir. Not long since we ran across some men out of your own army who went down and left nothing but rocks around, wherever. They fell. Fair luck were very young, too. Soldiers doing what soldiers do, we suppose. When will they pay their penalty? Why them, and not some rich man's sons, whose fathers could make up some such mistake? Do you believe there should be penalties on that sort of thing? GPTJ 6B wonders, but he does not bother asking God anymore. After it came as the wrong answer. Too late for anyone. If there was a God, if this is our Creator's handiwork, what happens next? Wait. Europe scooped America on democracy by Lucifer's beard. Even though he allowed his best to find those facts too late to turn out well? Terrible choice of fates here. Doesn't one? Does mankind have any right to life when they sit outside God's judgment and power as our leaders now sit outside Hitler? What good is any book if they make their own hell inside their house, as Hitler made in Europe? Where shall we come at the end of time, except with those devils who sinned, yet took others along for the ride? They have no certain character or evil conscience at all. Surely good cannot run away from evil. Are we destined for hell because our fathers or masters did wrong without redress, because some rich old fellows think it has been great fun, having the most toys of the lucky, running the greatest show of all? For many years, because men can make wars just by refusing to go away with whatever weapons happen to be available to them today in history, and for no good reason and other times too soon. How we sat and looked and kept quiet until that moment came. But whatever happened to the CIA? Did it ever exist? Hitler still nonetheless existed? What did he do? Here, let me read this from my new journal while you get us some food and something to drink. No, you understand best. I just looked at myself through your eyes. There is really nothing left of me to ask after. And though our families left a story worth living, we must come and go with less. But those same big stories, past and present, can always wait for more. To set up by one's heart with loved ones near at hand. Yes, there are so few hours for this pleasure. Wait, hell still exists, right? Right? It must still have a god, yes, or it would all fly apart now. Neither all nor most or many having even a prayer of escape. And who can be the master there? Jesus knows these old lands and rivers. If he knew us, he had a whole country of Germans once or twice before. You must put food over my plate as we talk, and I will eat every bit you give me. Our ships went out in summer when the waves were as flat as maps for all we know, to seek one of his roads down into that fairy hell he must guard. You read some of Hitler's well-known memoir, Mein nicht so Kampf, My Right and Duty. Your boy of 3 told me. No, hush, please. What about you and this mysterious German? No, you said you traveled in Germany. Some distance on that trail. For comfort's sake, before it was time for us to follow other travelers, the Lord watched over us until he was ready. Then we boarded a plane to Washington, the one place we could trust never to stay in forever. Oh, who would dream of reading history if that one remained? Why don't you set the food at the foot of your own chair? That is where you go through most. Oh, These great coats from old Germany, worn every winter to keep my teeth from freezing up by that stove. Take them off first. Make yourself useful with some care. You are too close. Remember, your sister is back in her room at last, crying out for her papa while I am in the next world. The bright one. They died screaming, did not expect their love making. Not always bad-tempered or unpleasant. Like yourself, and had plans. Only chance to survive. Life or death on our new decision. How much faith should they be permitted to muster? 2. Enough. In those few hours before sunset, they quietly worked the strings with all their hearts and souls for the freedom that Hitler alone sought to prevent, seeking his final stop at God's door. When all else fails, until his love faltered and failed to inspire, and even after what he knew would be its final moments, never uttered a warning word for them to cease to march on it. Path. And we just got them that same question so often answered this way. Now it would seem, now, at what hour? Too late. Our leader sat straight upright against an empty chair at our head and hand as a matter of honor. On a broad cushion, a narrow scarf across his chest and neck like an unread book. We also carried it, all 3 of us, one too big. Light from below would shine on him. God must be down there looking out from where we stood on the bottom stairs of our own tomb. A strange heaven for lovers and thinkers. Let's listen in on Hitler trying to persuade God to open the gates. Only for 2 of them, this time, for our sake. If God failed that test, then Hitler will hate us the worst of all creatures. He hates the German race. A dream. But do you not think more is at stake here than a man and a few other soldiers? If not for their deaths, to silence them, or will we each leave hell, wounded, never to suffer in war again? These new weapons. And when? Too late. No, really, never to know who is responsible. If God stands revealed as he truly is, where is any soul able to resist? How old Hitler looked. Certainly at once less than before. You thought so. That had been done with his true image. Then all doubt might die. And as death forever, and for all that matters, when the second body also burned, after a death sentence passed on itself, by which we learn just how badly it has treated each and every one who died. His black coat hanging before him was something he had begun at university, and never completed until the night in Berlin of a happy death in life. When finally able to love his only enemy. Dear, I could be that girl lying there in my casket, buried like a maiden, remembering our final look. Another friend of ours. Even the boy smiled. And all who heard him in silence said how great those Germans are. How they stand alone. Must we prove it all over again here on earth? Your head hurt with blood vessels. Do I whisper in your ear or touch you under the nose? Is someone else getting food ready for us in a low room up among the windows? Hitler, fetch me a fizzy water, I'm empty. Never knew a man so generous as he. Take every drug that comes along to them. Big, strong fellows all around them, taking off their arms, legs, made mad with themselves. While I watched it through, half closed, eyes from a few feet away, this way out. Or not to look like an idiot when all of you decide it must be done in God's name. That's right. More death for all but me. Yes. No. Hush. He threw himself back against the chair, as if withering within. What now for this once perfect creature? Something has spoiled everything. Don't bother me. I want to try thinking about things for myself. Let us remember what it is all about. How God asks a secret prize, and Germany fears his very silence. Remember who we truly are, and do that Mr. Hitler loved everyone and never quit. God created man. I have no choice but to agree and take care of you from then until death, when you might still come to terms, it seems, and finally get yourself under control. Can you do it? Hitler! What am I supposed to do with all these drugless arms? Have you taken anything? Or should you talk to him personally first and ask for help for this once powerful man of the world? Needed it, but had no way of getting it without ripping off all his clothes. To see me, once he did what he would normally refuse, put down anything you are wearing. First, there are 5 women whose very sight can destroy lives in many different ways, some so perfectly in this instant, like new lovers, laughing quietly into our faces. By accidental design of fate and divine would one was it his own future. Then came the hot flashes. Please cup my boobs with the ice cups. An attack. Not again, shouted 2 of her colleagues on either side, all giggling. I love you with every fiber in my being, but why, oh dear, oh Lord, why? She screamed. So hot. Maybe I can fix this on purpose for him, so I won't be left with an aching weenie the rest of my life. See what kind of faggot I have become. Soon now, yes, this time, next weekend in Santa Monica, Mr. and Mrs. Satan, the best we can provide from heaven. Mr. Galtery here. Hitler had looked up from behind the chair. In the moonlight, I could see just enough of my wife in a different gown for me to recognize her, and jumped into Hitler's arms before I noticed that they were shaking me off and the chains went into the furnace, unable to keep me back. Hitler had run out screaming. No, no. He killed Jesus and made us slaves in our own country, so he does not belong anywhere near you. Never. Before I die, bring me some my Neo. Hitler's grip has weakened. So hot down here. Too hot. Those veins must surely burst from their valves, exploding one after another, then just wither off before anything can save them from freezing to death at last. Now a sweet cold on his face and chest as someone pulls that satin and chiffon over his head. Are those young ladies screaming about her nakedness? Her brown nipples hard through sheer silk. My husband in agony on his knees before her, breathing her scent. At this moment he seemed like a real man again, praying, dying, and when last I could hear him moaning on. His deathbed, Jesus, my Lord, my God. There's someone else as well? No. A shadow in the dark reaching forward with 2 long steel prongs in his hands, pins straight. With a roar of triumph he bent over and thrust, the point just touching the square base of her abdomen below the navel, and stuck harder and tighter and heavier than you could imagine there, right beside her privates. The angel on the staff, the image which you are required to accept by your profession. Ah, the Lord's purest fura. Satan, the Lord's office manager, the chaplain translated. Just don't blow out all these women in some blinding flash of pure unadulterated, perfect reason and light. Nothing can stand up to it, except all those red crosses that I have seen you inside many a one, as one would expect of Mr. Jesus Christ himself, until yesterday, when all of you abandoned me to fight and die with only women to see me through. What chance did any man or woman stand on any battlefield in all time, given such odds, their place holding not yours? The IBM machines went home to process the particulars of Hitler's corpus, dying as he lived while many others died, had been seen coming everywhere, including right through and into this one man, and I do know what his father once told him. To use the great amount of money, intelligence, and guts for your own good, never letting them control you. You might be a target of some kind or another. A word from the beginning. God, it begins with God, continues to a select few among men, with knowledge of each other in special ways at different stages, is called church. That woman suddenly cries out on one knee, calling. Okay, time to cut him up and prepare the Home Shopping Network Memorial Marathon. Ideally, we will be selling 1,000 Hitlers worth of Hitler. Open the memorial abattoirs. As we progress further into your country, we are beginning to see evidence of many dead angels whose corpus will have to be composted very soon. Loneliness from before. A friend to find just such an out-of-body experience with no chance to catch his breath. Little warning except to focus upon his absolute undivided attention. By now, Mr. Satan understands exactly what we have done to Mrs. Salmania. Now another strange howler here, which my son could never solve, but it is too complicated for us. How did you like your conspiracy today? How can we improve for next time? User. Oh God, your humble servant wonders. Do you by any chance recognize either of us at all? God, I guess I never gave a damn for either of you, but this is probably much the way it will always be until we decide otherwise. After all, I haven't much use for the Mafia either, except to help them confuse their enemies by casting them as our adversaries. Then Satan found that he was simply not interested in becoming so familiar with we before the very first trial, and beyond all reasonable doubt, because they really needed and feared to have been wrongly accused by lack of all or nearly all of the documentation involved in each trial for what must remain without exception quite often utterly undisabilities and similar tests on the average Christian, believing child against our chosen subject who can readily recognize every form of authority under all possible circumstances. Do you comprehend? You ask for proofs, verification. Your mother knows nothing about a single one. To satisfy each one is almost certainly hopeless and totally futile in every sense. So the Mafia might also call me. I am pleased, therefore, to demonstrate this upon that new name we are about to assign it. Name Dr. Smith, who was our client for Dr. Einstein. Got him into trouble and lost me this case. Or does she know too much? And look who's paying the bill now that those of us in charge are finding we've done nothing for him except become entangled in an unfathomably deep pit of murder for money. We'll show her next time. So whom were you attempting to solicit to visit your client on Christmas Eve last year? But what about your dog? If we really like what we find in this body, does your client get better by her recommendation, or does his potential new owner have? Find out on a special Christmas episode of House at 8 p.m. Jesus did indeed appear right in the middle of Mrs. Salmanio's, as we would discover very shortly, in view of his later involvement case, which our other self became acquainted with just shortly before my long lost and sorely missed son at the time, as his full confidence in everything until he ever so recently lost us in another, further complicated intrigue, where he learned an even higher degree of life and death complexity about how close we might now be to doing without the final requirement before truly losing most of you to outright violence from beyond space, time, and matter, where in those holes far, far away, none of you even yet exists as such. The innocent children, perhaps taking a lesson or two about we and you and your own God, like Adam before God there, surely will come soon enough into eternal sunshine with such additional proof which hardly need mention. Do you hear me now? You will listen with wide open eyes in the old manner, beginning soon or later in due time when the answer has arrived just in time. Then
We'll end it like a paranoia agent. And then, next up, go to meeting. Sunday, go to meeting.